Good afternoon from Boston. It's raining today. It's a real fall day. It's getting cool out now. So I would like to just take a few minutes today to talk about a couple things. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jonathan Glass, and I am an acupuncturist and an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I'm in Concord, Massachusetts. And I'm also the author of the Total Life Cleanse, and have been leading cleanses and co-leading cleanses with my partner, Dr. Kevin Gregg, for a number of years. We are he's in Washington now, and Portland, and I am here in Concord, Mass. So, a couple things. One is I am doing right now what's called a fasting mimicking diet, and last week I think I mentioned that. So I just wanted to give you an update on where I'm at. I'm on day 3, and it's a low calorie, proportionately higher fat vegan diet, prepackaged from a company called Prolon, and Dr. Walter Longo from the Longevity Institute in Los Angeles, after many years of research, developed this program. And I had to check it out because as we age, as many of you who might have noticed, as you get into your 40s and 50s, it's harder and harder to decrease inflammation, to lose belly fat, and a lot of these markers are really significant, and some of them we don't notice. We notice that maybe we don't heal as quickly. We notice that we don't heal or decrease our belly fat very quickly. But we don't always recognize that our IGF numbers are high, which are markers for cancer. We don't always notice that our insulin sensitivity has gone down until later on we find out that maybe we have type 2 diabetes or the beginnings of type 2 diabetes. Our glucose levels may be a little high, and sometimes it's considered, 95 to 100 is normal, or even a little over 100 is normal, but actually getting it down into the mid 80s is optimal. So all these things are direct markers of longevity. Our C-reactive protein, which is the marker for inflammation. So by the way, I haven't gotten the lighting down yet, so I will within the next couple of weeks, so I apologize for the blue tint here. But I think hearing this is most important. When you're doing a fasting mimicking diet, and the research is really clear now, it supports all these functions. It also increases something called autophagy, which means the body's able to gobble up unhealthy cells and produce new cells. In fact, it increases your stem cell production by about 800%, which is really remarkable. So I'm on day 3. Day 1, I was a little tired. I had maybe a little headache. Day 2, mellow but clear-minded. And day 3, feeling pretty mellow and very clear-minded. I'm not hungry. Yesterday, I was a little hungry, but it didn't bother me a whole lot. Today, I'm not hungry. I'm not even really thinking about food, to tell you the truth. And I really expect tomorrow to feel fantastic. I would say aches and pains and tightnesses in the body have decreased significantly already. And I've lost a few pounds, which is nice. So, and it's been around the waist, which is interesting because I'm measuring. So anyway, so this is really cool, and this is really top-notch science. Very, very impressive science. It's a vegan program for 5 days, which is really cool because a lot of these programs, different diet plans or all that, whether the paleo or whatever, they often suggest high amounts of animal fat and meat. This is the opposite. And the science is really there. And the science also shows that doing this once a month for 3 months gets sustained results in all those biomarkers, which is really something. Now, the ancients talked about fasting all the time. What is panchakarma? Panchakarma is a 5-day Ayurvedic detoxification and fast. So, so these are things that the ancient doctors knew about. They didn't necessarily know about all these markers. They had other markers that they could measure based on the pulse, the eyes, the irises, the tongue, the skin texture, and of course, reporting of what the patient had to say. So, there's also good indication based on their science that even someone who's using traditional medicine, say someone has cancer, that doing a fasting mimicking diet supports chemotherapy, the optimal use of chemotherapy. So there's a lot of very, very interesting science going on right now. And again, this is great stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this, and then we're going to Kripalu on October 8th, and we're going to be leading a cleanse there. So I'm going to be cleansing with the group at Kripalu and then continuing on, because it's really a great thing if you do something like this and then reset with a super clean, healthy cleanse and maintain that diet for a while. So my intention is to do this, to do a cleanse, and then do the prolon fasting mimicking diet for the next, for the next 3 months, and see how it goes from there. See how all my markers are. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was, some people have asked me about my story and how I got into all this. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Just take a couple minutes going over that. So when I was young, I was quite, I was born early, and back then a lot of mothers didn't breastfeed, so I didn't breastfeed. And the dairy that they were giving to me I was having problems with. In fact, I think I had some very serious reactions to it a couple times when I was real young. And then after that, for years, I had horrendous allergies. And then when I was around 18 years old, I started learning about yoga and meditation, but I was also an athlete. And I was getting real frustrated because my allergies and my lung issues, I was on antibiotics probably once or twice a year most of my life. And I discovered that I had a dairy sensitivity. Even though I was very dairy sensitive as a baby, back then they weren't as astute at looking at these things. So I went on basically a vegan diet for 2 weeks. At the age of 18, 19, I was in college. And the results were remarkable. I very quickly improved lung capacity. Very quickly, my allergy symptoms significantly diminished. And it was crazy. It blew my mind that simply changing my diet, I was 18, I didn't know, could have such a powerful effect. And that created a very, very strong impression in me. And it also, then it started, harmonizing with the teachings of yoga and meditation that I had been studying at the time. I had been studying the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, and he basically recommends a vegetarian diet, and which I hadn't been able to attain in my fraternity. But my symptoms got so bad that I was willing to try anything. So for a while, all I ate was iceberg lettuce and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And believe it or not, that made me feel better, until I had to start learning I started losing energy, and I had to figure out how to eat, which I did. And so since 1982, I've been a vegetarian and just about vegan. I do sometimes still do a little bit of goat cheese, something like that, or a little bit of A2 milk from ahimsa cows that have not been slaughtered, ideally. So anyway, so that's what's going on with that. And then I went to India and to study more about yoga and meditation and bhakti yoga. And there I got pretty sick. I was young and adventurous and didn't really listen to people in terms of what to eat, what not to eat, or, where to walk barefoot, where not to walk barefoot. And I got a pretty bad case of parasites. And I got really sick. I probably lost 25 pounds when I was there, I guess. And I came back really sick. Then I went to massage school in Northern California, and where they also did all kinds of nutritional work, and the food was amazing. And we did a lot of cleanses, and which was really, I thought was a wonderful thing, and it was wonderful in many ways. Although after the cleanses, even though I felt great, and I'd taken some medications for the parasites, and my digestive power became very, very weak. And so I'd do a cleanse, I'd feel great, then I'd start eating normal and I couldn't eat. Then I'd do another cleanse and feel great. So I started doing this cycle of cleansing, and I realized, obviously, that I couldn't continue doing cleanses and eating just juicing and eating sprouts and lettuce, and nothing wrong with that, but to sustain on that, it wasn't sustainable for me. So I met an herbalist and somebody who specialized in Chinese medicine and Chinese herbs, and we really went over some of the dietary recommendations. Gradually, my digestion got much stronger, and I got healthier. I gained some weight, and ended up having a great time at that school, and went on staying there for quite a while. But that was huge for me, and I remember coming off of a cleanse and thinking, I'm going to be teaching this to people someday. I don't know, that thought just came into my head, because it's so important how you come off of a cleanse for a lot of reasons. One, physically, because you don't want to feel horrible and put your digestive tract into a sort of a major stress mode. But two, it's a huge window of opportunity, because how often is that you're not eating wheat, dairy, sugar, meat, nightshades, probably soy, and citrus, and so many foods that we're removing from the cleanse, that it's like a window of opportunity. So if you wanted to integrate what is my body like when I eat wheat, then you can really sense what it's like after the cleanse is over. So that's one of the beautiful things about cleansing and elimination diets, is that you get to experience. And you can certainly do blood tests, you can do muscle response testing, which I do in my office. In fact, I want to tell you about a little offer that I want to offer everybody who listens to this video, whether live or at some other time. So that's my story. I decided to learn more. I studied more. I studied massage therapy, a number of different styles. I went on to study Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, and that's my passion at this time, is combining really the essence of Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, which is very combinable. It works very, very well, especially the style of acupuncture that I use, called classical 5-element, which in one sense, if you think about it, it's kind of like an Ayurvedic approach to acupuncture, because we're looking at the elemental imbalances rather than just the symptoms. And the idea is to treat the person on a deeper level to get to the underlying causes. And that's something that we talked about last week too, in terms of what are some of the causes of distress, disease, and ill health. So that's my story. And we started the cleanse about 20 years ago, and it's been going really strong. So I wrote this book, Total Life Cleanse. Please pick up a copy at Amazon or my office or Deborah's Natural Gourmet or Barnes & Noble. It's in a lot of places, and you will get, you'll learn a ton. You'll learn a lot. I cover many, many things in this book. Controversial topics about diet, nutrition. There's a lot of data now. The ancients have been saying it from the Ayurvedic perspective for thousands of years, but a plant-based diet is the way to go if you want to be more preventive in terms of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and if you want to benefit the planet, and what the heck, why not benefit the animal as well? We can save the animals, and we can truly help the environment by going on a plant-based diet. And for those of you that would like to go on a plant-based diet, that are struggling with that, I hear this a lot, that people, I want to go on a plant-based diet. It's really challenging for me. I've tried it before. I don't feel well. I don't know what to do. I love helping people like that. So feel free to contact me. And what I'd like to offer everybody who watches this video is a free half-an-hour consultation where you come in and we literally muscle test food sensitivities to see what foods might be sensitivities for you. Now, if you're at a distance and you want to do this, I have done testing at a distance. And if you're interested and willing to talk about, do that. And I think with good success. So let me know and I'd be willing to do that as well. Okay? So I think that's it for today. I don't see any questions right now, but if anybody has any, feel free. And it's been great. And we'll get back to this next week as well. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Have a great day.